So here, I'll show you how easy it is to see that somebody doesn't care about other humans. This one right here. Yeah, we talk about him because we know this one's at straight up on the 10 scale. So he says it's ridiculous that he thought I should give up pot smoking for an interview just because he has a problem. I'm sorry you can't be here. Near, 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 near. Hey, Steve-O, why would you think that this guy would care about anything about you? He doesn't. He doesn't. These people are such idiots. Like, I'm sitting here going, I think it was like for an hour interview or something. Like, does he just chronically smoke it? Like, you can't be respectful. Like, here's the thing. It's like, oh, somebody has a problem. Like, somebody has a drinking problem or, somebody has some other problem. Like, you don't just do it in front of them, right? You're being an asshole, right? Because they could slip. So I had this issue at my work, and I was like, well, who's this asshole that brings this alcohol to our job and leaves the drink out? And my friend, who's like a recovering, whatever here, finds it, and then somehow I guess she talks herself into, like the way she did it was just like, look what I found in one of the rooms. And then she's like, who brings this here? And then she goes into the locker room area and then sets it like on top of it. She's like, I'm going to get rid of it. And I was like, oh no. And then, I guess she had a war about it. Like she was totally sober this whole time till somebody did that garbage. And they're not actually technically supposed to bring stuff to work like that. And if you do that, nobody needs to see that shit. Okay. Nobody was supposed to really be doing that, but you don't bring that around. It's not supposed to be there. But, yeah, that's what happened. So Bill's just like, screw you. I don't care. I can't spend an hour like not smoking pot. So that's your own damn problem. That's him. He would get you hooked back on drugs. But I don't know about pot smoking being the huge part of things, but maybe it's a gateway for this guy, Steve-O. But he's like, Bill Maher has finally responded to Steve-O, who said on an episode of the Wild Rad podcast earlier this year that he had to turn down a request to appear on Bill Maher's Club Random. Like, who would go on there anyways, okay? Podcast because Maher refused to not smoke weed during the interview despite Steve-O being 16 years sober. In an upcoming episode of Club Random with guest Tony Hawk, Maher confirms the story but expresses no regret over turning the Jackass alumni down. So here's how you read these guys right here. That Steve-O guy, oh God, here's the socio. That Steve-O guy was taking shots at me in the press recently. It was an unfortunate, I don't want to start a feud, and I'm sorry that he felt slighted or something, but it's ridiculous that somebody thinks that I should give up pot smoking because they have a problem. Then I'm sorry you can't be here. So this right here. I was like, this right here, you guys. Or plain and simple. Bill doesn't need to move his head around. We already know his problem. Right there. Okay. Bill, okay, so you noted that the Club Random podcast in his house, and so great guests have to play by my rules. Okay, so now he's having a power trip too. It's my house and my rules. Okay. I already have another show. Okay, so his narcissism is like, woo! Okay. It's called Real Time. It's on HBO, and it's very much not with pot, Maher said. This is different. This is just shooting the shit. And this is how I shoot the shit. And this is an attempt to get conversations as real as it is ever is. Oh, with the narcissist? Oh, I'm sure that just like if we were doing this, and I don't see anything that we've said that I wouldn't have just said to you if there were no cameras here. And you even know where the cameras are. Okay, so let's remember that. I have no feud with any of these jackass guys. I watched all the movies. They are funny. Maher is often seen smoking pot during the Club Random podcast. Steve-O originally expressed shock that Maher would not forgo smoking weed for one interview, especially because Steve-O had appeared on other podcasts where the host was a marijuana enthusiast but agreed to respect his sobriety. Right. Because the people actually have a soul, Steve-O. Those people are good people because they care about your well-being, right? Maher doesn't care about anybody, okay? He's an outspoken, you know what, okay? So he's not going to even say he's sorry, nothing. He's going to run you over forward and backwards. I'm a clean and sober guy. It's very important that I maintain my sobriety. It approached 16 years, Steve-O said in his own podcast at that time. And I'm about to be sweet 16. Really, there's nothing I value more than my sobriety, and there's nothing more that I protect than my recovery. And I find it kind of upsetting when the Bill Maher podcast reached out and he smokes pot the whole time while he interviews people. And I said I'd be happy to go there, but while I'm on, out of respect for my sobriety, could he refrain from smoking pot? And he said no, and that's a deal breaker. Evo gained traction on social media platforms like X last month. Some user pointed out that Maher had, in fact, respected his guest boundaries for marijuana in the past. During Sheryl Crow's appearance on Club Random, Maher told her, "That's when I need a joint, but I'd never light one up in front of you." And he refrained from smoking in front of her. Okay, there's a manipulation there, and why? Okay, maybe he wanted to have sex with her. I have no idea. He's gonna be okay. With a personality trait like this, the reason why they would do something for one person over another, there's an MO. I don't know, Sheryl. The fact that Sheryl even went on there, anyways. But I never light one up in front of you. So anyway, Maher's full Club Random interview with Tony Hawk will be available May 20th. Is there any comments on this? No. Nobody even cares. I love it. Yeah, so his thing, he's trying to schmooze it up with some chick, dude, because he's, this is an interesting one, because I'm stewing on it, because I'm like, that would make, okay, there would be kind of a pin there, too, as well. You know how men do the pin? Okay, the pin where, us women are supposed to fight among each other, right? Like, there's kind of a pin, like, for Steve-O to be, screw women. Women get their way with everything. This thing right there? I'm just looking at it, because it's kind of a, the socio-narcissist here is he has rules for whatever, and he's, going on like this. So, anyway, that's the story, and yeah, he's a jerk, and he will always be that way, and don't expect him to have a soul, because he doesn't have one, okay, Steve-O? Like, okay. And actually, most of them have been, anybody that I knew that did that were always pretty, considerate, because they would ask me, do you think is it okay that I do that? Like, they would ask me, like, those type of people. And, I mean, it's just, him just being the socio that he is. Honest to God, like, I mean, you're gonna die with not one for an hour? Don't bring your kids on there. Don't bring your kids on there. There's not enough money in the world, or not enough desperation to get me to get into the same room with Bill Maher. Honest to God. I would tear him apart. Like, I honestly would. It would not go well. And he'll try to, he'll be a dick. I'm like, he'll be a dick. He'll go on this thing. He'll be blowing pot smoke in my face. And then you'll hear me tear him apart laughing my ass off. Okay, so that's the end of him. This is for educational purposes, how you can read people. Like how you can read people by these ones that we know for sure. Even though he probably never went to somebody to get a diagnosis. He talks to Howard Stern and say, "Howard, do you think I'm normal?" "Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Bill. I love you, Bill. Like, no matter what. All the jerks. It's like, you guys are all, we are all the same. Go away, grandpas." Honestly, though, I don't think Howard would be this much of an asshole. He is, but not this much. I think he honestly would be like, okay, yeah, I won't do it. I don't think anybody can really top Bill Maher's assholery. That's what I'm saying. I go, when you go back to the Sheryl Crow portion, it's a manipulation. He's trying to get up on her. Something weird. But he did this with Ann Coulter. Like, he flirts, and then he's a misogynist to her, and then, not like these people are all perfect, but I'm just saying he's the predator. Like, predator. It's like a predator move, right? Cheryl, I respect you. Like he totally doesn't. I respect you, Cheryl. I'll respect you. Call me after the show.